as the countdown is on. Elimination semi-final, ready to go.
Oh, the crowd, and we're into it. Nat Nui over the top. Look at him explode out of the blocks. Got the handball away. Collingwood with the tackle. Embley tried to keep it alive. Swan involved as well. Now Kerr picks up the ball very cleanly. Handball over the top to Selwood. And now Collingwood get their first touch. Side bottom, puts Beams under pressure.
What that Nui did in that first bounce is why we get so excited about him. He still only gets the ball about 14 or 15 times, but no ruckman to play the game can outrun the midfielders and out-contest the midfielders when the ball's on the ground. He's almost unplayable when he does that.
It's impossible when he runs at ground level. There's no ruckman that can get near him. It's remarkable how he can get after it at ground level. Cox is at full forward on Nathan Brown.
Thomas goes long. Cracker was front and centre, once again over the line and out of bounds.
And boys, the West Coast tall forwards have already forced a shift in Collingwood structure. Harry O'Brien is starting on the bench. I don't think he would have done that too many times in his career.
Yes, along with Didak, who's not the sub tonight, and Wellingham. West Coast have Gaff, Hill and Brennan starting on the bench, sub being Rosa, of course. Sub for Collingwood is Elliott. Elliott, the only person out there not to have played a final. So it is a big night for the sub for Collingwood. Good crowd in here tonight. Nat Nui again, this time from behind, won it handsomely down to Scott Selwood, and he'll receive a free. The advantage will be paid here to Mouston. Little handball back inside, finds Shuey, long and direct ball. Jack Darling in good position, got manoeuvred out of the way. Through came Kennedy, little poker, and out of bounds.
Really fascinating to take a look at the midfield matchups as they transition from the wing down. I reckon Luke Shuey's trying to run around with Dave Beams at the moment. We're seeing a lot of Pendlebury and Kerr. There you are, bottom of your screen. That will be a great head-to-head matchup.
It is one-on-one absolutely everywhere, Das. At the moment, here's Selwood, desperate to win the footy. Blair, just pure numbers there for the Pies. Cloak in a 2-on-1, got back to help out Brennan. Really did well in the courage stakes.
He's a great replacement for Beau Waters. Jacob Brennan, son of former Eagle Michael Brennan. He lacks no courage at all the way he attacks the footy. He's going to play that similar role to Beau Waters tonight.
Here's Gaff back inside. Dangerous spot for the Eagles here. Cox did well. Did he throw it? The umpire said yes. Umpire Justin Smith says free kick Collingwood. Off the back door to side bottom, and that's not his best. Tarrant near the boundary line. All he could work it down the line. It's pretty good to Thomas, I might add.
You can see Scotty Selwood is running with Dane Beams just through the middle of the ground there. That looks like that is a pretty hard tag. They really respect Beams for the fact that he can get hit the scoreboard.
Thomas was able to get around the man on the mark. Cloak now the target. Mackenzie's got him wrapped up. Blair was away but ran out of tarmac.
Yeah, it looks as though Scotty's brother Adam is going to run around with Andy Cracker. So two lock-on rolls for the Selwood boys. No surprise in that. There's Adam Selwood.
Have a look at Pendlebury and Prittis in there. Prittis is so good at these clearance situations.
In and under there, Wellingham, the sub that's, sorry, the interchange player that's already gone on, only 2.5 minutes into this game. Gaff, pursued by Didak. Little quick kick around the corner of the doors, couldn't trap it. Now he's got to beat Schofield, boy out of the Geelong Falcons. Footy Factory down there with Mickey Turner, picked up by Fasolo, around the corner, 5. Fasolo just misses to the right-hand side.
Interesting to see that starting tonight is Alan Didak. In the past 5 games, he started as a sub, and I think it's a good move. He's looked as though he's been slightly out of form and perhaps some fitness issues as well, but potential match winner Alan Didak gets a chance to start tonight.
The Pies already are bringing a lot greater intensity to North Melbourne. They're already a quarter of the way to North's 36 tackles last week. So the Eagles are going to find out about finals pressure here now.
Gaff with a bit of space out there. Dr. Peter Larkins, we welcome you for the first night. Any concerns for Dale Thomas tonight, do you think?
Yeah, good evening, Brian. Well, look, he had a nasty ankle injury back in round 16, missed round 18, then a cork thigh put him out early in round 20. So Daisy hasn't had the best month in terms of injuries, but he's out there tonight, and I think he's running pretty well.
Lynch, beautiful kick to Kerr. Kennedy got in the back of Reed. just off the ball ever so slightly.
So far, Ben Reid has been able to get himself free at times and get back into the hole, which will really settle up this back line with Nick Maxwell, the captain, out, of course, for 2 weeks.
Haven't been able to get it deep into their attack zone yet, the Pies, whilst West Coast have done it a number of times already. Here's Blair through the middle with some space. Pendlebury thought about the kick. Now Didak turned on a threepenny bit. Handball away here. Caught. I'm not sure he handballed that. And a free kick will go the way of Glass. Solo caught with it. And that's 50 metres. Silly stuff from Fasolo. Got inside the protected 5-metre zone. And wasn't chasing any player. The team there just getting around the back of the player. Right there.
Protected area. He ran in. Play on!
So the kick long and deep. This is to the left-hand side by Scott Selwood.
He's trying to work out these rotations and matchups in the midfield, Richo, and focusing a lot on whether Collingwood would go lockdown. And you think at the moment maybe Dale Thomas is doing a job?
Well, he was running around with Daniel Kerr, but now side bottom has the matchup. I think there's only one real hard matchup in the middle at the moment. That's Selwood.
They're having real difficulty, Collingwood, at the moment, penetrating with depths into their forward line. Now, Butler around the corner, got it off to Shuey, let it rip from 50, high ball. Darling's got the sit here. Was he interfered with by Shaw? He was.
Contact first. Isn't that in the back if he pushes me?
You're not eyes on the footy.
What do you mean? I backed into him, so clearly my eyes were forward.
That's it, Mark's there.
We heard he's sure arguing his case there, and he's saying it wasn't front-on contact. I backed into him, my eyes were forward. What the umpire's played is blocking his run, Richo, which you can probably see.
What Shorey was saying there is what he actually was trying to do. He did try and turn around and back in, but...
Darling for the first goal of the game at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter at the Punt Road end. The Eagles are away.
Well, there's Heath Shaw. Clearly, it was a free kick to Jack Darling. He tried to make it look as if he was backing in, but in doing so, took his eyes off the ball and impeded Darling's ability to mark the football. So definitely a free kick there, and you don't want to get this man up and about early because he was one of the reasons they got away to a big lead early in last week's game against North Melbourne, Jack Darling.
Spectacular night in Melbourne here at the MCG. Hardly a breath of wind. Great conditions for footy. Doesn't appear to be that dewy. It's very cool outside, I might add. Cox this time. What a tap to Scott Selwood. Ripped it out of the middle. West Coast going forward many times already. O'Brien. Tarrant couldn't handle the ball. An opportunity here for McGinnity. Turns around. Fronts the goal. Eagles have got 2 in a row.
Well, that is a brilliant start for the West Coast Eagles. Nathan Buckley just ponders his options. The issue there was the space inside 50. They wanted out of the clearance situation. Cox taking his turn in the ruck. But once they went forward, there was a slight fumble from Chris Tarrant. They had options everywhere inside 50. And fumbles in big finals, you normally get punished. Just a slight fumble here from Chris Tarrant. The handball was a bit hot. He was away. Pies were about to rebound, and those little errors in big finals, you get hurt. McGinnity punishes him with the second goal of the game.
Similar to the Fremantle start last night. They kicked the first 3 of the game. Eagles have got the first 2. Here's Didak, their first real clearance of the game. He inside bottom shear the ball, spearing past, didn't get there. Now, McKenzie and Embley combined. The kick towards Darling and Tuvey. Tried to keep it rolling. Hill just went with the one hand there and was unable to control the ball.
Yeah, unlucky to didn't make a little bit more of that, Alan Didak. He is starting up on the wing, but he's part of the forward 6. Butler, his opponent, sat around at the back of the square. Didak came in and got involved with the clearance, had the ability to put it inside forward 50, just couldn't hit the target. But Butler may well have to come around and man Didak up if he does that again.
How are you seeing this early stoppage work, Lingy?
Terrific grab there by Cracker. I'll let you have this one, BT, as this goes forward.
Okay, we'll come back to you in just a moment. Here goes Cracker to Cloak. Cloak with the hands out front, couldn't hold it. Butler, spinning ball, just got the handball away. Lynch was real fast with the hands as well to Shuey, but lots of Collingwood numbers around. Johnson picks it up from 50. A vacant goal square. Getting back first will be Hearn. Pursued by Goldsack. Silly to keep it alive. Swan had a kick out of the air and missed it. Picked up by Goldsack. Played at Cracker. Cracker on the right. Brings it back on the left. Boy, was that silly play.
Oh, Andy Cracker. What an amazing story this is turning out to be. Did his knee in the pre-season, missed pretty much all of the year, came back in, played in the final last week, had one game before that, kicked 4 goals last week. Off to a good start again tonight, and he's always had the ability.
Paid the goal immediately. Now, interested to see if that's gone over the line.
Oh, it's
and
miles
it clearly has.
Now, hang on. The umpires
are having a look at it.
The umpires have gone upstairs. Now, you're telling me that the umpires' advisors don't communicate with umpires. You've got to be kidding, because there's no doubt. Now, was all of the ball over the line?
Well, I don't think you can conclusively say it was. It's
Piece of paper in it, isn't it?
inconclusive, I reckon.
The nearest boundary said the whole ball didn't cross the line.
From that angle, you can't see, but it looks it's across the line, doesn't it?
Well, the fascinating thing, we're all sitting up here going,
Well, we don't know.
go to the replay.
Yes.
And the umpires chose not to initially.
Okay, let's see what happens here. The umpires have set themselves up.
Darren said as the nearest boundary, the whole ball didn't cross the line, is his view.
That's all the vision. Vision, conclusive, ball crossed the line, take it back please and player behind.
Oh, don't know about that.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that. Because the only angles you're seeing are the ones that go to air. And so we couldn't see that conclusively over the line. The video review umpire up there, he's saying, unless he has set an angle that we haven't seen.
You have to conclusively be able to say 100% that it crossed the line, and it may well have, but I don't know if you can say it was conclusive.
That is correct, Dars. They only see what we see on the replays.
Well, on that, I'm staggered that they can say that that whole ball went across the line. And even more staggering was that they didn't actually go to review it at the start.
Exactly, no doubt.
I'd like another look at it, but
The umpire's advisor, no question in my mind, had a word to them just as they were about to bounce the ball in the middle. Now Marston gets on with the game here. The Eagles are away. Butler, little kick out line, finds his target. So the Eagles moving the ball methodically at the moment. This kick goes in the British direction, but Reid too tall. So some controversy to kick this one off at the G.
We need Hawkeye, like at the tennis. You'd be able to tell then if it was over the line. That wasn't conclusive.
Kick goes down the line to Cloak, off hands. Nat Nui, Gaff, Schofield. Around the corner, high ball again. Reid is in front. As time drops the chest mark. Johnson had to get rid of it. Swan now. So Collingwood out of defence. Tarrant, left footer, remember, wanted to get back onto the left. It cost him. Here's Darling. He explodes out of the block. Boy, hasn't he been impressive. Kick goes forward again. Kennedy and Shaw. And now Thomas with a high ball. Standing under that is Beams.
Just had a couple of shaky moments back there, Chris Tarrant, so far. A little fumble and then a poor decision that last handball.
Cloak put penalty under the pump. Did he make any contact? The umpire said it doesn't matter. Now Gaff charges forward with the ball. Long into the pocket. Hill did well. Really well. Kick of 20 metres, difficult angle.
Well, what a massive turnaround in this game. We go back to a break. We feel Collingwood have got the goal. They certainly do. It's been reversed. West Coast through some great forward pressure and now lining up to really get a nice early margin in this game.
To make it a 3-goal start for the Eagles. 14-minute mark of the first quarter. Hill with a real difficult shot. I think he's nailed it. He has. He likes it. Josh Hill has kicked the goal. Third in a row for the West Coast Eagles.
And that is a massive play, BT, in the context of an elimination final. Unbelievable scenes. And we're going to go back and have another look at this angle, see if there is some conclusive vision, Richo.
Well, not from that one. We can definitely say that's not conclusive. The above...
Well, from that, it's not over the line.
The one above was the one that they would have decided off. This one here, you tell me, Das. How can you say that definitely did?
And the umpire went to the boundary umpire, whose feet you can see on the goalpost. He is 3 metres away, and he says that he couldn't conclusively say the ball was over the line. The video referee has overruled, and we've got a big controversy here in this elimination semi-final.
Both umpires had a very good look there. Very controversial start. Side bottom getting a bit of it early. They look rather jittery with their disposal at the moment, the Pies. Now Gaff will send it long and deep. Nat Nui and Brown. He flies for the ball. Kennedy goes hard at it. McGinnity was there as well. Selwyn to McGinnity. Off to Kerr. Round the corner. Got for the West Coast Eagles.
Wow, what about the West Coast Eagles coming off a 97-point win at home over North Melbourne, and they have absolutely jumped the Magpies here to start this big final as well. And all of a sudden you're looking around the MCG and you're seeing a few shell-shocked Magpies searching for answers. It is absolutely right on this game, and it feels as though the Magpies have to respond immediately.
Well, there's a huge contest from Nat Nui. Brings the ball to ground, and he just had the weight of numbers at ground level, finished off by Daniel Kerr, and they're playing efficient football at the moment.
Back in the middle of the ground, Pendlebury looking for the clean clearance here. Beams goes inside 50, Hearn gets back. Gee, they're doing well in defence at the moment, the Eagles, and the spread is unbelievable. Cox has got Pritis on, he goes in that direction, tried to close him down doors, did well to force the turnover there, but the backup is impressive. Beams, Blair tripped over, had to hurry the kick to Didak, made it work.
Yeah, it was a clever little ball out there from Jared Blair, but they are under enormous pressure. That is a concern. Might get down to the dock shortly. Ben Reid holding his back.
Well, I think that was Nat Nui in that big marking contest in the pocket, resulted in Kerr's goal.
Harry O'Brien goes deep, side bottom there. Gaff, he and Gaff go on the one-on-one. Kennedy front and centre, the smother by Wellingham. Gaff went really hard at the ball. He was upended by Shaw.
Jeez.
Boy, did he go hard at it there.
He's been good. He's had 6 disposals, 3 inside 50s already, Gaff.
Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Ben Reid really saw just at the back of the right hip, as Darcy and Richo were just saying, BT got a big knock just over the back of the bone. He's just jogging now. He'll come good.
Pritis, the specialist from these clearances. McGinnity told to play on now.
Have a look at the gut run from the big ruckman Dean Cox there. Spread so hard for the contest.
Lynch in the hands. Can go into the pocket. Here's Embley. O'Brien gets a bit of a run at him.
Darcy was spot on about Cox's spread away. And what it forced to happen was Dale Thomas had to cover then, and he worked really hard to go with Cox, but it just made the midfielders loose somewhere in the ground because of Cox's work rate.
Yeah, and the man who's in the ruck at the moment, Chris Dawes, he's got to have more awareness than that. He's got to make sure when it hits the ground, he's following up.
Kerr, did he handball it? Was it knocked out on the tackle?
How about the pressure of the West Coast Eagles so far in this game? It is just...
Free kicks played down.
Beams gets one here, but on the back of just this fanatical tackling, they have really upped their rating here, West Coast, and putting the Magpies under all sorts of pressure.
Well, it's hard for them to go forward quickly here because they've got Hearn just loose down the line, and he's the last player they want loose. The way if he gets possession of the football, he sets it up for the Eagles with his foot skills.
Jolly down the line. Cloak, beautiful contested mark. Will turn on that beautiful left foot arc. Goes to the one-on-one deep. Goldsack got it. Beat Schofield in the one-on-one.
What a difference the game makes, Richo, when your big forward takes a contested mark and plays on. You get 2 one-on-one contests on the back of what Travis Cloak just did.
Well, Cloak led hard. He led for about 40 metres. He took a contested mark in a pack of players, and he played on quickly. He didn't go back and kick it. He handball receives it off, and then this man here gets a one-on-one chance behind it. So
a lot of pressure to convert here, given the fact we're almost 20 minutes in. West Coast have 4 goals, Collingwood have none. Tyson Goldsack, and he's sprayed it badly to the right. Very lazy kick.
good sign to see Cloak doing that, though.
Yeah, that really hurts Tyson Goldsack's miss there. He's been great this year, kicked 22 goals playing that defensive forward role. They needed one badly.
Gee, Cox didn't even know that coming then. Hearn made him run to the ball. Cox and Jolly were both caught unaware and worked very nicely for West Coast. They have been ultra impressive here in the early going.
They were able to close down the run and spread from West Coast Collingwood on this occasion, and a big win here as they turn it over.
Again, second time in that fashion. There's Jolly, little poker over the top to Cracker. Can he stop it before the boundary line? Not this time.
That's their go, Collingwood. In 2010, when they won the premiership, and last year at parts this year, their forward pressure, keeping the ball in their forward half of the ground, they took that to a whole new level. They need to just trap West Coast in this part of the ground.
Swan bursting out, Didak. Dawes trying to keep it rolling in the Didak direction. Marston, a bit of a no-look handball. Ends with Harry O'Brien. He gets a really good look. Off a step, I think he's got it. He has. Collingwood get their first at the 21-minute mark.
Well done, Harry O'Brien. Getting on the end of some great forward pressure by Collingwood. Forced a turnover, got it deep inside 50, forced a stoppage. The defenders press up. Harry pressed right up inside 50, gets on the end of it, kicks a goal. They needed that. Terrific work, Harry. Had to come down and get involved and had the ability to finish it off.
Harry O'Brien's third goal for the season.
Yeah, it was great work by Harry O'Brien. They forced the turnover, then they got the ball in, forced a stoppage, and it was great to see the defenders push down and get involved.
That one, says Harry, was for John McCarthy. Swan out of the middle, starting to get some nice clean clearances now. Here's Cloak with a really good run at the ball. This is well within his kicking range.
Gee, he looks confident, BT, doesn't he?
Gee, he looked all over that, Richo.
He's coming out of the ball, and you can tell now that he's believing that he's going to mark everything again. It's amazing. In the space of a couple of weeks, all his confidence is back to us.
Great to see his teammates surround him, just settle him down and say, righto, this is what you do now. You're within range, go back and slot it through.
Man on the mark is right on 50. Very capable of the distance. Has been kicking very nicely. Cloak from 55. Kick on the way. It's all about the journey. Falls a touch short. Cox marks.
He does that well, Cox. He just does the disciplined things always at the right time. Got back.
Great kick to Shuey. Thomas did well to force the issue to the ground here. Shuey nailed in a really good tackle from Reid, I think it was. Very impressive.
Is that your job as a ruckman, Darsh? You always get down to try and a long shot at goal.
And you can get lazy sometimes. You think, well, Cloak's going to make the distance. Good chance to have a breather. Dean Cox never does, and that's why he's been one of the great players of the
last 5 minutes has been played at the Collingwood end. Blair goes sideways with a kick, able to pick it up to Brown. He's a left-footer. Johnson gets onto that left foot now. Left foot high to the top of the square. Dawes was being held perhaps, and Pendlebury has taken the mark.
Yeah, brilliantly played from Scotty Pendlebury, and great to see this gun Collingwood midfield taking a bit more ownership. There is the tackle that sets it up from Ben Reid. Brilliant effort. And I think Pendlebury's taking it on his own. They need to kick some midfield goals tonight if they are to win this game.
At least Chris Dawes occupies Darren Glass there, and it gives Pendlebury a chance to come across the front and mark the footy.
Directly in front to get it back to a 10-point ball game. Pendlebury, just nice and easy, kicks the goal for Collingwood.
He's an out-and-out jet, Scotty Pendlebury. Had 30 possessions again last week. Big-time performer, loves the big finals. Norm Smith medal winner. And one of the real keys in this game, if he can catch fire and kick goals like he just did then, he'll become a very hard side to defend against.
See Pendlebury with the early lead there, went back, had another go, saw the battle with Dawes, drops in front, very nice work. 7 of the past 8 inside 50 to the Pies since the Kerr goal. So they have won the last 6 or 7 minutes, and they've won the last 4 clearances, I think.
They have, and Darren Jolly just nullified Nat Nui's jump there. Das didn't let him get up
Did
there.
it beautifully, didn't he? Didn't give away a free kick. Collingwood win the clearance. Here they go again.
Dawes to Fasolo. Fasolo tries to draw them to the board. He has with Goldsack. Gee, Goldsack made that kick look a little better than it perhaps was.
What a great 5 minutes Collingwood have had. All the play West Coast way. They got over the disappointment of a controversial goal being disallowed. They've refocused. As Richo said, Darren Jolly, sensational competitor. He gets the ball down Dane Swan's throat, and they get it in the arms of Tyson Goldsack, who's missed one, who's generally kicked pretty good this year.
Directly in front for a 3rd consecutive Collingwood goal here to get them within 4 points. Goldsack comes in, has hit the post. Both of his kicks have gone right.
Boys, just a small thing through the middle of the ground that I'm a little bit nervous about. Well, you mentioned the Scott Selwood on Dane Beams matchup. Well, Dane Beams came from the ground. Scott Selwood stayed on. Dane Swan was in his matchup. He ran around hard with Swanee for 2 minutes. Beams comes back on the ground, so Selwood's tired. Beams is fresh. It's now starting to tell that Collingwood are spreading away from the contest a lot better than West Coast are in the last 5 or 6 minutes. I'd prefer Scott Selwood coming on and off the ground with Dane Beams.
Kerr, great composure. Kicks down the line here once again. Collingwood take it away from 2V. Dawes has taken another mark in present-up fashion. Goes long and deep. Swan the target. Perhaps not the right option there. An option goes back in. Swan did well to keep it alive for the Pies. Selwood came through. Got coat-angered by Blair.
Careful.
And highlight
Play on.
the dominance of Collingwood in the last 10 minutes. West Coast have had only 15 disposals in the last 10 minutes. It's been a massive turnaround for Collingwood.
Quickly down to Doc Larkins on Heathshaw.
Yeah, just getting his right thumb heavily strapped, just sprained, but he'll be right, Brian. They're just going to take a few minutes to get heated back.
Off hands, O'Brien. Got some help out wide. Tried to bore in there, Blair, and West Coast fierce at the ball as well. 3:13 remaining in this quarter, and you can see the thumb of Shaw, as Doc Larkins reports, getting some attention there. Jolly. A rare moment to be able to draw breath here for both sides. Marston bounces off one into another. Shuey was brilliant in close. Priddis wobbles one up towards half forward. Tarrant had that shaky start. Reid to Pendlebury. Pendlebury to Tarrant. This time, a clean out of the back manoeuvre. Wellingham just chisels it down to the line to Dawes. Couldn't quite get underneath it.
His work rate, as always, right up Chris Dawes. And the point that Richo made before is an accurate one. He's got to make sure Darren Glass has enough interest and feels as though he's dangerous enough not to sag off and take uncontested marks.
Shuey, Reid, done really well, but Kennedy keeps his feet. Gee, Embley almost caught one high there. O'Brien under enormous Lynch pressure. Got it away to Pendlebury. They were right on him. Didak for about the 4th time spins out of trouble. Shuey with a double spin. A bounce. He can tuck the ball under the arm from 55 metres out. Shuey with a long ball. Touched on the line. Free kick will be paid. It'll go the way of West Coast.
I reckon don't you love it how the defenders always played their case, but I think that was a clear jumper hold there.
Cox to extend the margin against the flow. Gets it. Eagles by 15.
Did it well though, Coxie, didn't he? Pushed his weight back into Nathan Brown. And as often can happen when you're one-on-one on the goal line on an opponent that's bigger than you, you panic a little bit and just didn't need to grab at the jumper there, but tough situation to be in on a man of his size.
It's little things in finals, Rich Hosen. Tyson Goldsack directly in front, lines up, he hits the post. That one really should have been rushed through. He just grabs a bit of the jumper. And the crowd are watching the replay, they're not happy, but a little jumper hold, they're always going to pay them.
Jumper hold definitely there. The wrist hold on Cox also there. Back in the middle of the ground. Nat Nui over the top again, just as he started the game. McGinnity a little unlucky. Gee, Tarrant trying to claim the mark. Did he disposed of it correctly, knocked out on the tackle. O'Brien under pressure. Shaw's got to go. Gaff went at it hard as well. Now Wellingham sees Didak. Hearn should be able to cut this off. Dawes comes at him. Didn't stick the tackle, but just gets rid of the ball. Didak's kick forward being marked by McKenzie.
Just a poor decision there from Didak. Even Wellingham's kick missed the mark. They were out. If he had hit the target, Jolly was presenting in space, and a skill error has resulted in a turnover.
Matt Nui, front centre by Beams, finds Didak, who's been incredibly lively in this first quarter, around the corner with a good kick to Jolly.
This is what I love about Darren Jolly, is that not only is he up for the challenge and he's a tough enough competitor to try and take on Naitanui and Cox, he's going to ask them a question as well and run forward. And on that occasion, Naitanui was ball watching, forgot about being a defender, and Jolly gets on the front foot, an opportunity to score.
And BT, you called it. Alan Didak, he's had the best quarter of footy probably for the year. For him, he's at 8 disposals. He's looking lively. He's getting involved.
Turning sharply too, isn't he?
And he's occupied Hearn on those last few inside 50s, and he's the man they have to drag up, Shannon Hearn.
Jolly with a big kick. Half a minute remaining. Kick on the way, looks good. Collingwood peg another one back.
He's a good player, Darren Jolly. In fact, he's better than a good player. He's been sensational for Collingwood. Premiership player with Sydney. Really solid. Kicks well for goal. Competes super hard. Never going to get 25 possessions and run around the way Dean Cox does, but he's just as valuable. And as I said, to take the initiative away from Naitanui and Cox and say, all right, at some point you're going to run and try and pick up me as a forward, and that's a big win there for Darren Jolly.
Now, man, Lingy, you had a look at this match up early. 1 goal each now.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I'll tell you what, Brad Ottens, my former teammate, said that Darren Jolly is the hardest player he ever played against. So strong in a contest, brilliant at what he does. He's a quality player, and he's making these blokes very honest at the moment.
Back in the middle of the ground, Matt Nui knocks it down to Prentice. Stay with us. We're going to show the replay of that controversial goal. Straight after the quarter-time break. Knocked away here by Swan. Reed out the back to Beams. Swan now. Wobbly old kick goes forward. Here's Fasolo. Trapped it magnificently, cleanly. Silent sounds. Interesting quarter of football. One that saw the Eagles kick the first 4 goals. Then Collingwood responded. And boy, have we got our game on our hands here. Remember, going to show that replay on the other side of the break. 5-1-31 to Collingwood, 3-4-22.
I've got beer goggles on. I haven't. Been drinking water all day.
And by the way, Richo, the grand final sprint opportunity for one of our members on the Saturday night team. People think you're the best athlete and have the best chance of representing us, so it's going to be you. Out of the middle they come. Blair now with a long ball went forward to the punt road end, the end of which Collingwood are kicking in this quarter. Dawes comes through the pack, tried to get the handball out, almost a throw there. Somehow made connection, and now Hearn to Embley.
So they've been able to, in the second half of the first quarter, and just then cover the spread of West Coast out of defence a little better. And there'll be something they'll be focusing on, is making sure they do just this, apply more forward pressure.
And here it is again. They've turned it over 4 or 5 times, West Coast, in similar fashion. Little dinky kick. Surely it's not the required journey. Around the corner, Beams long to the goal square. Swan able to keep it alive. What does he do? Brings it back on the left. Centering kick. West Coast got a number of players here. One of those, Selwood. Lock it in their forward end.
Beams' effort there to steal that mark. He had no right to take that. Completely out of position. Just through sheer competitive spirit was able to get hold of it.
Just a ball magnet. Beams up to 11, and he's had the tag of Selwood, and he's still got it. If you look on screen there now, tight tag.
Cox and Naitanui have yet to be let loose and really dominate, so they've sort of held them in that area without beating them, haven't they?
They've got a good structure now behind the football, Collingwood. They've got the opportunity here to lock it inside 50. O'Brien is loose behind the play. Quinton Lynch making it a 2-on-1 with Chris Tarrant.
Shuey. Collingwood got a 2-on-1 out here. Here's Kennedy, goes to ground. Tarrant with the shepherd. Reed, who was very impressive in the first quarter. O'Brien. High ball, Dawes can get a jump of it. Only one went, and that was Swan.
is where you're always nervous playing against Collingwood. Swan, Pendlebury, Beams, all big goal-kicking midfielders. And you can throw Dale Thomas in that group as well. When they get forward of the footy, they can really hurt you.
Jolly and Pendlebury won already. Swanee with a chance here now.
Fairly long kick for Dane Swan. 49 metres out, just off to the left-hand side. In fact, hasn't made the journey. Matt Nui wastes no time getting in the Jack Darling direction. Once again, the kick is not what it should have been. Ball was pinned in there by Gaff. Did he make a legitimate attempt to get rid of it? The umpire said yes. Umpires today, Brett Rosebery, Matt Stevick and Justin Smith. Three of the very best. Mackenzie appealing for the hold of the jumper. Tried to do it in secret without Travis Cloke knowing him.
Got away with one. I'll be really enjoying this Collingwood. Repeat inside 50s and time spent the forward half of the ground, just grinding them down.
Swan. And I think he might get a free for too high here. He has. Going down, hit him high.
G did this well at the stoppage. He pushed Pritis in, who's one of the best clearance players in the AFL. He pushed him right in under the ball, won the clearance, drew the free kick.
Probably a trip before the high contact anyway. So Swan this time from just 25 metres out directly in front to make it a three-point ball game. There is the situation. He makes no mistake. And Collingwood have recovered.
It's Alan Didak. He's having a really good night, as we suggested. Looks lively at half forward, and good to see the Collingwood midfield getting on the scoreboard. Dane Swan, Pendlebury and Darren Jolly all scored. It was a weakness last week against Hawthorn. It was all Cracker and Cloke. No midfield goals last week apart from Sharrod Wellingham, who was playing forward when he kicked them. So real positive for the Pies. Right back in this now.
Have kicked 4 of the last 5, the Pies. West Coast, if you've just joined us, kicked the first 4 goals of the game. Back in the middle, Nat Nui and Jolly. Nat Nui sharks the Jolly tap. Wellingham went at the ball, handball straight to Gaff. Kerr now under real Blair pressure. Spills to Shuey, advanced it inside 50. Shaw with the strength over Hill there.
Stay there, Josh.
So Collingwood careful in their defence. Beams to Didak again, who's finding space this time. Made a bit of a mess of it. Gives it off to Swan. Swan down the line. Jolly the target over his head. Butler. Marston the give and go from Kerr. Kerr a little ball out wide to Kennedy. Traps it wonderfully well. Spun beautifully on the left. Great kick from the big man to Hill.
He hasn't got much ahead of him here. Collingwood have got midfielders that have pushed back. Pendlebury inside bottom. That's why he had to go wide there. That was really good work rate from the Collingwood midfielders to get back and help out.
They just look a little bit more organised at the moment, Collingwood, Richo, don't they? They feel as though they've settled down with their matchups. They've got their defence a bit better situated than they did have in the first 10 minutes where they were 4 goals to none down.
Lull here, BT, isn't it? It's sort of
absolutely. As Dar said, I agree with him. I think Collingwood have been able to turn it into a 0-all draw, and all of a sudden both teams on a level playing field again. Here's Johnson, goes to Cloke, who was really good in the air a couple of times, and a knock of the arms there. The advantage paid, comes out to Didak. Didak goes back inside. Here's side bottom, or is it Blair? It's the ladder. Blair, a little kick off the side of the boot, not great. And Glass.
Yeah, be disappointed with that kick and the finish, but once again, it's Travis Cloke who gives a fantastic contest at half-back, earns a free, and they're able to break the Eagles' defence open from there.
Josh Hill with space says, come on, come at me, come at me. Jack Darling does.
He's got a massive work rate, Jack Darling. Just runs and runs and runs.
Kick into Cox. Did well, Pendlebury knocked it to the ground. Kerr on the charge through, trying to blast his way through. Darling. Swan waited for him to go to ground. Kerr, quick little handball out the side door to Lynch. Wasn't aware of it. Pendlebury through traffic. Didak. Free kick, Collingwood.
He's best on ground at the moment, Alan Didak.
Fatherhood definitely agrees with Alan Didak. Became a father during the week, and he's certainly playing some great footy. He's turning back the clock a little bit.
He's a good move too, Richo, wasn't it, I reckon? He's been the sub in 3 of the past 5, and I think a player of that quality, a big final, given the week that Collingwood would have, I think it was a really good coaching move from Bucks to start him.
Gee, Shaw presented up there, as you can see in the picture. He was pretty disappointed he didn't get that. Now Dawes has got into the back of glass there. Marsh with the free. Immediately off to Gaff. Gaff goes direct. Good ball out to Hill. Good overhead. And I reckon he can get the journey, Hill.
He's had a good year. I don't reckon many people saw this sort of year coming from Josh Hill.
He's kicked 34 goals, Richo.
Yeah.
He never displayed this sort of competitiveness.
Just a great mark.
The Dogs.
Good contested grab.
Josh Hill comes in. That needs to go a little left to right now, and it won't. Matt Nui flew over the top, and dangerous to give him a leap at the ball in that situation.
He's got his hand trodden on there, I think, Matt Nui, accidentally. Gets up a little agitated about it. It's interesting to hear Josh Hill throughout the weeks, watch Nat Nui's fly, and just the accidental stomping there. Spoke about the fact that the harder he worked defensively as a forward, Josh Hill, the more the ball came his way, and it's almost like the penny finally dropped, and it's taken a new club to do it for him.
Shaw was able to penetrate from the kick in with a bit of a run and then a long kick, but Kerr did really well. In the body, Jewel goes into Marston. Out of his range here, I would have thought. Marston from 55 metres out, high ball, top of the square. Kennedy gets a bit of a run at it. Up they fly. Brown was there with a strong fist. Harry O'Brien wanted to take it through the traffic zone, and I think we may have a ball up here now.
Darling's holding it in. Came out, Darling put it back. Thanks, Brownie, straight away.
Really good umpire, this guy here, Brett Roseby. I like the way he addresses the players, as you just heard then. Cox and Jolly. Beams from the stoppage. High on the head of Butler, had to go back. Cracker, the MCG specialist. Here he is, around the corner. A beautiful kick out wide. Good mark taken by Wellingham. One bounce, he is quick, can think about the second. Went from 55 out, a straightening kick. Poor disposal in the end.
Yeah, the delivery inside 50 has really let them down. You saw the look on Nathan Buckley's face. That was a great opportunity, and a poor decision again going forward for the Magpies.
Thomas got a stand, and he did, courageously. Cracker again, waited, knocked away, well done by Cox. Marston and Cox combining again. The fast hands in this game is incredible at the moment. Marston, Nat Nui, an example of it there. Nat Nui to Shuey, now Kennedy on the lead. Pritis is there if he wants him. O'Brien closes him down. Embley's got it inside, but he goes short to Darling.
He's got Gaff wide open. You can see on the left of the screen there, just didn't get turn around quick enough.
Really clever use there by Kennedy. He looked to go long, but just at the last second pulled his kick, hit up Darling with a little lead. That's a lot better ball use going forward than what Collingwood's done the last couple of times.
So Jack Darling to steady the ship for the West Coast Eagles. Will have to kick at 50. No wind at all here tonight. The MCG very close to the man on the mark, got a bit of a floater, and it's clobbered through. In fact, didn't go through in the end. And now McGinnity able to pick it up and get rid of it. Let's get down.
Sorry, BT, just going to have a look at Tane Beams on screen. He's got the hardest tag on the field, and yet is the leading disposal gatherer with 14 possessions. He is having a remarkable year.
Jolly. Not quite the clearing kick that he'd hoped. Good tackle applied by Blair. Cracker in the middle.
Gee, that's good.
Gee, he is good, isn't he?
And his knee, he's twisting and turning BT really well tonight.
Unbelievable stuff from the MCG specialist, Andrew Cracker. That's a poor kick, though, by Jolly to Beams. Missed him by a fair way. Now Hill had to get rid of it. Well done by Tarrant. Tarrant keeps it alive, lets it go, drills it down the line. Dawes on the lead. Won't get there for the mark. Let's get down to Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Daniel Kerr's just gone downstairs with the doctor for the West Coast Eagles, Brian. I think they were indicating it might have been upper leg region. They're just having a look at him.
Keep an eye on that, Doc. Cox, beautiful palm down to Marston. He got caught by side bottom. And he carried him forward in the tackle. Now Pritis. Brown did well. Thomas went at Lynch. Now Pritis again had to absorb the punishment. Gee, this is a tough game now. Furious attack on the ball from both sides. Shuey went without it. Brought in a bit of a stiff arm there from Dawes. Thomas put Fasolo under enormous Selwood pressure. Gee,
It is brutal. The attack on the footy and the attack on the man has just gone up a notch. It's certainly finals footy.
It's getting harder to score too. We've only had one goal.
Has just gone up a notch. It's certainly finals footy.
It's getting harder to score too. We've only had one goal this quarter.
That goal coming off the boot of Dane Swan at the 3-minute mark. We're now into the 13-minute mark. Shuey down the line. Tarrant and Lynch. Shaw clears the path for Tarrant. Taken forward in the tackle, said the umpire.
Crowd get involved with that decision. It was very similar to one that was played before, so at least there's some consistent with that. But from where we're sitting up here as well, the heat on every contest is just sensational to watch, and the skill errors are a result of that, because that perceived pressure, you feel like every time you get the footy in this final tonight, someone is going to mow you down very quickly.
Collingwood hasn't lost to the West Coast Eagles at the MCG since 1995. Now the ball forward for the West Coast Eagles. In fact, haven't lost a final in Melbourne against any interstate side except for the Brisbane Lions at all. Brisbane Lions, of course, in those couple of grand finals. Cox knocked down. Shuey's kick was smothered by Wellingham, who's been impressive.
Daniel Kerr emerging from the rooms, as Doc Larkins pointed out. He's gone down, but appears to be moving okay, which is great news for West Coast.
Thomas out the back door, scrubby old kick along the ground. Brennan was able to get on it. Somehow Cracker stripped them all of the ball. He's normally a good user. Goldsack here, battling it out with Glass. Did well in the strength stake. Goldsack sold a bit of foot candy as well. Just got pushed. Shaw tried to get his hands under it. Couldn't get hold of it. Comes to Didak. Standing start. Long ball to Cloak. Punched away magnificently by McKenzie.
It's just that last kick going inside 50, as Lingy pointed out before, for the Pies had 3 or 4 opportunities since their last goal to Dane Swan, but just haven't been able to find the target in there. How did Crack get it in that tight situation there before BT? He's just got a handle on it.
Just strips people of the ball.
He does.
Incredible turning circle that Cracker can turn players inside out like no other. Pendlebury. High ball in the head of Beams.
Not 15, the umpire's called play on.
Boy, I reckon that was hard. Cracker now.
Seen a lot less than that played this year.
Thanks. Thanks, Craig.
Let's have a look at it.
Here we go. Watch your footy.
Crowd seeing the replay. Didn't like it. Cox. The dangerous Didak. Pritis to Hearn. Hearn to Embley. Just wanted to clear it out of the zone. 2-on-1. Shaw over the top. Got targets everywhere. One of those Pendlebury. Got a runner inside bottom. Ignored that. Went with the left boot. Smothered off the boot it was. Now got to go Dawes. Keeps boring a hole through them. West Coast try and knock him out of the way. Beams goes in as well. Selwood's in there. Furious effort to win the loose ball. Look at him crack in.
I like what Chris Dawes is doing tonight. He's been heavily criticised this year, and he's had some form issues. Got dropped in round 23. not winning a heap of the footy, but he's making Darren Glass accountable and really having a fierce attack every time he gets near the ball.
Well, he's making Darren Glass play him, isn't he?
Yep.
Rather than be able to help out with others. Johnson surely didn't dispose of the ball correctly in that tackle. Buckley not happy.
This is where the Eagles have got to get it moving quickly and try and beat Collingwood players back. They've done well, the Pies, to push back.
Bucks probably thought it was knocked out in the tackle. Brown now down low, side bottom, kept it alive around the corner. Marston in good position. The knock away. Johnson wasn't quite alert there. Here comes Pendlebury. Butler circled the ball but could do little with it. Priddis now runs into the Ben Reid tackle. Ball pinned to him. He had no prior opportunity.
Almost like a Oz kick game at times tonight. There's so many numbers around the foot. Everyone's just like a magnet to the ball. Look how many people are around this contest.
Kerr. Collingwood with some numbers. Side bottom straight down the throat of Schofield. Still just the one goal in almost 18 minutes of footy in this second quarter.
Well, you see Schofield mark that, and you can see Ben Reid getting back in front of Quinton Lynch and Chris Tarrant there, and that's why it's so hard to score, BT.
And here it is, one in front and one behind.
Yeah. It makes it really hard for forwards. There's not many marks being taken by the key forwards inside 50.
And then on the rebound, Richo, there's great lockdown from both sides. You can see Collingwood here. They love to get it moving quickly, but it's a great angle. West Coast are picking up all the one-on-ones. There's no outlet runners. So the safe option down the line is the only thing here for Tuvey.
Yeah, and you can't switch it because they're blocking the outlet on the fat side of the ground as well.
Exactly, forcing Tuvey to go where the ball is now, down the line.
It's great arm wrestle this final at the moment. I reckon Collingwood arrested momentum back after a brilliant start from the West Coast Eagles, and now it's got into a bit of a holding pattern where there's a lot of numbers around the contest, and the next phase is going to be interesting. Who can break free of this stalemate?
It's just intercept marks between half-back lines at the moment.
Reid wanted Tarrant to get out of the space there and go, and that's a risky kick to Brown, but he's got Tarrant loose if he can get it to him, but he's got side bottom down the line if he wants.
And Tuvey up the middle. I think that will be the difference. Which side is brave enough to risk going through the corridor? High risk, high reward at the moment. They're both just playing conservatively and not wanting to make a mistake.
Sure did well after initially duffing the mark. Now Thomas looking for the give and go, and the handball was just too fierce from Shaw. It just needed to be a soft touch handball.
People watching it, the courage it takes for a player to pull the trigger and put a low pass into the middle in a high pressure game. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Embley. Hill now. O'Brien will chase it down. He's got Shaw deep in the pocket. He took them on O'Brien. Taps the ball in the direction of Shaw.
What are you getting the feeling down there, Lingy?
Well, this has just been a really fascinating passage of probably 5 or 10 minutes. I reckon whoever can just break this game open, maintain their intensity a bit longer in the next couple of minutes, could go a long way to winning the game.
Kerr gets a look, standing start. This is just to the right.
Having said that, though, guys, there is absolutely no easy ball out there right now. Every single one, every single touch that a player gets got to be earned. It's just all contest, contest, contest.
First score of any type in 12 minutes of footy just there with that behind from Kerr.
Remember that from Tuvey was a little bit of a risk, a bit of play on. They get an opportunity to go all the way to half forward.
Cloak in an arm wrestle with McKenzie. McKenzie did really well. For Solo, though, keeps it alive, looking for some support, found it in Didak on his left foot, high ball, top of the square here, players arrive, punch it to ground, Cracker, he's got a good turn, can he turn Hearn around? No, he can't. Side bottom now, looks for and finds Pendlebury, but a long way from home.
Yeah, Hearn did well to close down Cracker's space then. You could see Crack, he saw the loose ball, he loves that situation, but Hearn did really well.
Cloak wanting some space in front of him.
He's got Quinton Lynch right in front of him there, just out of picture.
Travis Cloak's only touched the ball 3 times, BT, but he looks as though he's got McKenzie really nervous in the one-on-ones. They've got to try and manufacture more of that one-on-one footy.
Calling for his own players to present up and lead up to allow some space behind them there. Now Beams. Goes long, here is Cloak in front. Here's the little man Blair, comes to ground, Butler. Fast kick along the ground. There comes Beams again. Been very impressive, Beams. Controlled kick back to Tarrant. Needs a clean collect. Got it. Pumps it really long, a little wild. Gives Nat Nui a time to fly over the top. Couldn't stick it. Ball spills. McKenzie held in the tackle.
It's just a great contest to watch, this one. As we've said so many times tonight, you really have to earn every possession that comes your way.
Did that well. Quinton Lynch came in and bodied up Jolly and let Nat Nui come third man over the top.
There's that 2-on-1 that Richo's spoken about a couple of times. Tarrant wasn't clean though. McKinney now to Cox, puts it out in front of Kennedy. Here comes O'Brien, they close in. Hill picked it up magnificently, needs a clean bounce post. Gee, it was cleanly done by Josh Hill.
Well, that would have been a good goal because they made something out of nothing, and it was because of Lynch tying Jolly up, and Nat Nui got a really clean clearance down to Kerr.
Once again, we go into this slow play along the boundary line. No change of direction, just conservatively and slowly down the line.
West Coast just not allowing that fat side change of direction. Dynak to Jolly.
I think you've got to be bold enough, BT, to win a final. I think one side has got to take the initiative, take a risk.
Fasolo was out then and he elected to go backwards with a handball. Gaff was caught in the tackle. Pendlebury with the spoil. Did really well. Pendlebury through traffic. Look at that spin. Bit of hand candy. Delivery to Swan. Was really good, but Swan couldn't hold on. Now Selwood's got him in a headlock. Free kick, Swan.
What about what Scott Pendlebury did there?
It sort of takes, though, doesn't it? It takes something like what Pendlebury did.
Swan looking to play on here. He says, come on, come at me. Beams needs to get out of that space where he is at the moment. Not giving the opportunity for anyone to lead in that space. Right there. Swan says, I'll do it myself from the boundary line. That kick is offline. It wanders in its last moments of travel.
Just take a look at the skill here from Scott Pendlebury. Fake handball and turn in one motion.
That's great ball control, isn't it?
Yep.
That's why the players do all those little ball handling exercises, Richo.
They do.
As you've been showing us on the Toyota Tour, of course.
Well, it gets a bit boring, but you've got to do it.
Reed. Not paid the mark. Umpire said he didn't have it long enough. Now Lynch a driving ball. Hill the danger over the top. They collide in midair. 3 Eagles go to the ground. Collingwood players keep their feet. Funny little kick from Shaw. Wellingham couldn't control it. Kerr made Reed really earn it. Good handball intercepted by Johnson. Dawes just mongrels the ball forward. Cracker lurking dangerously. McGinnity did really well. Now here comes Cox at the ball. Got Tarrant starting to close now. Cox did really well to Kennedy. Shovels off the handball to McGinnity. McGinnity gets a look at an open goal square. Hill will get back and take the mark and kick a certain goal. Gee, I thought he would have played on there. And the frustration evident for all. Hill to kick the goal for West Coast. And they lead by 11.
Well, they soaked up a lot of pressure this quarter, the West Coast Eagles. Collingwood have been pressing, but they just haven't been able to score. And that kick there, fortuitous kick from Hearn. The Cox got in front of Taz, and it was really great work from Hill. You can see him running back. He just had too much mobility there for Ben Reid going back towards goal.
And it was a kick out of mid-air there by Shannon Hearn, wasn't it? That was
broke it open.
High risk, high reward. It's what we're talking about. It could have come off the side of his boot and been turned over for a goal. It went through the corridor, and that's been the first real break in play from just chipping along the boundary line, making sure that you don't turn the footy over in the middle of the ground.
Goal apiece here in the second quarter. Marston with the Eagles clearance, but Shaw peels off and finds Thomas. Thomas to Dynak. That kick to half forward hasn't been great for the Pies.
One of their really big issues in the first half is they've been streaming forward at times. Collingwood, as Bucks goes down just seconds before half time, they've turned it over inside 50 a lot, Collingwood.
So West Coast in the first
football. That's Kerr down at the bottom of the pack there, BT, and he looks sore. I've already seen him come off the ground once, and there was a bit of push and shove after that. And he looks unhappy.
More than anything. Let's just have a quick look at this replay. Accidental kick to the tummy there, and then
got a hip, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe a collision
with his hip onto Wellingham's hip.
Right there.
Still down, Daniel Kerr.
Very sore. West Coast players looking very concerned.
That's hip on hip. Great angle of that. And Willingham gets up, and that hip pointer part of your body. We'll find out from Doc, and you can see Daniel Kerr. He's in a bad way. Doc Larkins here down there. If you had a look at that replay, what do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a hip pointer right over the bone. There's not much padding on the outside of the right hip, so it hits right on the nerve. And just look, he'll come good, but it's why Kerr's so struggling. Right hip, it'll just be bruised like a corky, but on the bone.
All right, well, here at half-time, it is West Coast as Daniel Kerr picks himself up. A slow walk to the rooms for him. Let's hope he can recover. West Coast, 6-4-40. Lead Collingwood, 4-5-29.
Numbers back, making it hard on him.
So here we go with the second half. Sudden death, winner to play Sydney next Friday night. Scott Selwood to Gaff. Gaff really wide with that ball. West Coast got some numbers here, although Brown used the body well. O'Brien was able to pick it up, take it away, and gee, how can that be 15?
Now that's a better ball, the one we've been speaking about in the first half. It just breaks the whole game open.
Swanda for Solo, good overhead.
Gee, he's got good hands for a small to medium forward for Solo.
I reckon he can kick this.
He has.
He's got the fat side open.
Thomas is there on that fat side. Richo, you nailed it, you picked it. Thomas was magnetically drawn into that spot.
Just a great play by Fasolo to identify that Thomas had Natanui running back on him. He did a good job to try and cover off Thomas Natanui, but he didn't have the agility there. Look at Thomas, just doubles back into space. The big fella got a little bit lost trying to defend that then.
So Thomas, from 35 metres out, he's a right to left worker of the ball. In he comes. Kick on the way. Collingwood fans like it.
That's the start they needed, Collingwood. First goal of this quarter. Daisy Thomas pushing forward from the wing. He's got the match up on Embley at the moment, but Embley completely lost touch with him and he pushed hard forward. Natanui did a great job to cover him off. He was on Jolly, obviously, pushed down, tried to help out Embley on Thomas, but just didn't have the defensive skills to be able to go with a player of Daisy's size on the lead.
First goal to Dale Thomas in 5 weeks, but it's all set up by Still Sidebottom's kick into the corridor, and I'm sure Nathan Buckley at half-time said, look, we've got to be bold enough to win a semi-final. When you see an option in the middle of the ground, take a risk and we'll kick more goals.
Only led in the first minute of the game. Other than that, Collingwood have been behind. Pendlebury out of the middle with some wizardry work. Goes short for Solo on the hands. This time couldn't get hold of it. Goldsack. Knock out to Thomas. Thomas around the corner, kicks the goal. Collingwood are in front. Thomas has kicked his second in a row.
And it came on the back of a clearance. Darren Jolie, listen to the crowd. Get involved here at the MCG. The Collingwood Army come to light. Darren Jolly's been sensational, competed superbly. How about Pendlebury? We just spoke about his ability in traffic to carve his way through. And I love the contest that was created there by Goldsack. Dale Thomas, as I said, didn't kick the goal for 5 weeks. He's got 2 in 10 seconds.
Yeah, and you'll see it here. You'll see Dale Thomas and his direct opponent, Embley, top of the screen there, coming from the wing. Just better work rate from Daisy Thomas. Got down there, created something out of nothing. But that was a goal from work rate from the wing. He just simply wanted that more.
Great shot from our cameras, and a hold in the middle to Collingwood as well. Pendlebury. So just the start they would have hoped for. Kick to Cloak on the lead, getting back and earning himself a free as Glass.
Straight away. Time off.
Did well then to skip Darren Glass.
See, that was a hurried kick from Embley. Almost got it to Jack Darling then. So look at that score. 41-40.
8 possessions, 2 goals. Efficient footy.
In this half, Richo,
That's it, yeah, 8 touches this quarter, all kicks, 2 goals. That's as efficient as you get.
Early call by the umpire that it wasn't a required journey somehow. Wellingham to Pendlebury. Pendlebury looking menacing at the moment, goes long to Cloak, knocked away from him, Butler. Selwood at the back to just tidy it up for West Coast to Glass. Glass can go to Schofield. That kick, has it got the depth? It puts Schofield under pressure. Tyson Goldsack with a great tackle, and the recovery was equally as good as well. Look at the Collingwood players come from everywhere. 5 on to 2 it was at one stage. Somehow, West Coast have won the ball in the hands of Pritis.
But under heaps of pressure, Goldsack was just sensational there. Kamikaze-like going after the footy. They've got through West Coast, but it's hard.
Gaff to Lynch. The follow-up from Gaff, really good. Couple of bounces, not within range. Kick inside, Mark Cox.
Gee, summed that up well, Gav. Not only did he push hard, he got to the position 60 metres out. He really didn't have anything ahead of him to kick to. He looked inboard. He saw Dean Cox just pushing inside 50. You see, run and carry, just little look inboard. There was Cox presenting, who showed great work rate to get down there anyway.
Andrew Cracker all over the run pass by the big kicking Hearn. Then we see Brennan going down the race as well. Cox with a kick from 50. In he comes. Beautiful stroke just off to the right-hand side. Kennedy flies, and Darling's taken an uncontested mark.
I think a free kick's going the other way, is it? No, so the mark's going to stand. The umpire signalled the wrong way.
5 metres. 5 metres. Rightio. Out here.
So Darling's got it now.
What will he do, BT? Across.
Run around on the right, on the left, won't he? Darling gets close to goal here. I think he's going to go on the left. No, the right foot banana. No, he changes his mind. Left foot kick. Looked a little off balance when he let it rip.
Since Stevie J had that kick controversially smothered, you remember a few weeks back as Darling and Brown go on with it, Harry O'Brien comes in, the players have been lining up 5 metres out and sprinting quicker than they have done before, and that's what put Darling off the kick. He nearly got it smothered.
And I also don't think they give him the proper 5 metres to us. I reckon it's a little closer. Need to look at that. Here's Blair. Back to the square, the run by O'Brien, impressive. Here's Tarrant on the lead, needs clean hands, got it, turns back on his left boot, little chipping ball into a running opportunity here for Thomas and Hearn. Hearn did well, really well.
Just got great core strength, Shannon Hearn. Daisy Thomas tried to move him off the footy, but was just powerful enough to hold his ground and save the goal.
Gee, Gaff was slow getting rid of that. And Wellingham with a run-down tackle. And Cloak with the mark. Too far out to score, I would have thought. That's Buddy Range from there. High ball, top of the line. Thomas has got himself a free. Dale Thomas has a chance to kick Collingwood's and his 3rd consecutive goal.
Quick ball movement, great defensive forward pressure from Wellingham. Now he jumped up, got it moving to Cloak. Thomas gets a one-on-one, and he's going to kick 3 goals inside the first 7 minutes of the 3rd term, having not kicked one for 5 weeks.
3 goals in 7 minutes for Thomas and Collingwood. They lead by 8.
Well, he's had his critics during the week, Dale Thomas, questioning his form after the Hawthorn game. But he's a match winner, and he has kicked 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. He did this against Richmond in round 2. In a 5-minute burst, he kicked 3 goals and blew the game wide open for Collingwood. And he's just had terrific work rate, working from the wing to full forward. 3 goals off a wing. Sensational effort, Daisy Thomas.
So So the fans get the chant going.
Yeah, welcome back, Daisy, says Chris W on Twitter. Look good now, the Pies. And he is back, Dale Thomas.
He is 3 goals in 7 minutes for him. Shaw with a good tackle. Kerr able to recover the ball. Goes forward again. Reid, who's done really well tonight. Kennedy has been outplayed for most of the evening.
Just played on a lot more this quarter, the Pies.
Pritis out the back. Just got him. Dane Swan.
And their pressure's gone up too at the same time, Richos. No doubt the Bucks sat down at half-time and said, just have to take more risk, got to get out of your shell. We saw the first kick of the second half was that really great ball from side bottom to Swan in the middle of the ground, and they're going to a bit of kick-to-kick here at the moment, but when it's time to play on, they've done it really well so far in the second half.
Swan orchestrating proceedings here at the moment. This kick's got to be really good. That's that risky one down the middle the boys have been talking about. Goldsack's now got in a bit of a mini war with Glass.
Massive fan of Tyson Goldsack and the way that Bucks has used him this year. He's always a half-back, occasionally pinched it up forward, but now he's the permanent defensive forward who kicks goals. It's a really important role.
Harry O'Brien was warily approaching the ball there, and in the end, all he could do was lock it in under pressure from West Coast. Here is Brennan after receiving some treatment. Down to you, Doc Larkins. Any idea what the problem was with Brennan?
It was an AC joint, Brian. Took a heavy collision. Had to go into 2 contests and did very well when he was trying to get off the ground, but he's come up. It looked like he's had a bit of pain work.
Might have a bit of a jab there, Doc.
I think so, Brian. That's it.
Thomas down the line, Dawes juggling attempt at mark. Stripped by side bottom, a loose handball. He says, come at me. In the end, Cloak had to go back towards goal. That'll be paid to Mark if he gets it. This time he didn't. McKenzie knocked it away the 3rd time. Really good stuff from McKenzie.
Yeah, did well, Eric McKenzie. I thought the kick from side bottom was actually a good one. He forced Cloak to run back towards goal, but McKenzie was just good enough to get back equally as hard and defend that ball.
Might have been off the back of McKenzie anyway. Looking at that replay. Kerr out the side door. Thomas. Beams, fast hands, Tuvey. Little banana into the hot spot. Mark taken here by Glass.
Tell you what the Magpies have done in this 3rd term as well. They've kicked the footy 25 times and only had 2 handballs. So a real focus on moving it by foot and going through the corridor, and it's working.
Pies have kicked 7 of the last 9 goals in this game. West Coast with the first 4 of the game. Pritis to Scott Selwood. Selwood tries to break the lines, got a nice handball off to Hill. They're away here. Shuey, running bounce. Who can run him down? Got rid of the handball to Cox. Cox almost stopped in his tracks. Gave it to Embley. Embley under pressure. And now Reid.
And that's a reverse of what we saw in the second quarter as John Worsfold looks on with a bit of stress in his body language at the moment. It was Collingwood who were turning it over, going inside 50 under pressure, and now it's the reverse.
Look at the space here for Thomas. Beautiful kick from Beams. Thomas tries to take on Selwood as he got him. Thomas got the kick away. Cracker. The specialist here at the G says, come on, come at me. Sold the foot candy. Turned his man once, twice. Set shot at goal. Just off to the left-hand side.
Once again, it was Dale Thomas saying, I'll take you on. It was Cracker saying, I'll take you on, and sell a bit of candy on a couple of occasions, and they have come with a real different approach to the second half, and it's working. They're getting rewarded.
And so much of it is on the back of just real quality pressure. Collingwood were at their best, as we know, in 2010 and 11 with great pressure, great tackling pressure. That's what they brought at the start of this 3rd quarter.
Kerr off the back has found Hill out the back with lots and lots of space. Trying to run him down as a desperate Ben Johnson. Kick goes inside. McGinnity, almost a one-hander. O'Brien was holding on with the other hand. Did he get him high on the tackle? Umpire lets it go. Nat Nui around the corner, looking for Cox offline.
That to me is good umpiring in the final. It's the way you want to see the game umpire. There were some marginal contact, high, nothing that warranted a free kick. Good stuff.
Side bottom. From the stoppage. All over the line.
It's got a more open field down there, Lingy, that's just end-to-end at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly does, Richo. I think it's because when Collingwood are creating the turnover, as you mentioned earlier, they're just playing on. They're taking the game on, moving it fast, actually using a bit more of the corridor, which makes it open a lot more.
Reid.
So Ben Reid there looking to go back through the middle of the ground. There's nothing open, so comes back down the line.
Intriguing game of football. Moments where the game's open, where the game opens up, and then all of a sudden, both sides close it back down again, go one-on-one. Here's Kerr. We believe he had a jab on the hip at half-time. Knock away from McGinnity. Beams somehow got boot to ball. The umpire deemed it okay. Johnson knocked as he went to handball. Cracker will get a high tackle there. Umpire said he ducked into it. And there will be no free kick there.
Duck down, he ducked down. Duck down.
And again, BT, without wanting to focus on the umpire, I think that is the way you want the game to umpire. You accentuate the contact, let the game play on. Good, consistent umpiring here in this big final.
Holding, Jolly. Arms wrapped right around him.
Justin Smith very clear with the defending player and Lynch there. Now side bottom. Sees Shaw's got a bit of space over the top. Hill read that like a book. Did it well. Now he finds Brennan, who's recovered and is back on the ground. Doc said out a little bit of shoulder work. It's been a 3-goal Collingwood quarter. And they lead it by 9. Some space for Embley here. Kennedy presents up a rare occasion tonight that he's been able to mark uncontested. Nat Nui the danger here from behind with the leap. Marston back inside, stripped by side bottom. Nat Nui to Lynch. Marston out the back now. Shuey's got an opportunity here. Beams closed him down. Goldsack did well over the top. Now needs to close the ball, and he's got a free Goldsack.
And you see Daniel Kerr get up and look sore again. You saw that heavy hit he copped on the hip. And
Dockers, that's something we're going to expect to see during the game, that Kerr is going to get sorer and sorer.
Yeah, look, if he has had a jab, it's not going to last the whole match again, Brian. So any knock he gets it, or they might need to look at it three-quarter time again.
He's already looking a little dodgy, isn't he, Das?
yep, some more contact. And it's unbelievable how often when you get a call 5 minutes later in the same spot, someone collects you as that ball goes out of bounds. And they need to regroup here, the West Coast Eagles, Rich. They really haven't been getting hold of the footy in the second half.
And credit to the Collingwood defenders. A lot of talk about the tall forwards the Eagles have. It's a great night out there. Only 3 marks between Kennedy, Lynch, Darling, Nat Nui and Cox inside 50. So they've stood up the Collingwood defence.
Gee, that was a good release handball on that occasion from Thomas. Now on the boundary line, Cracker got caught, had the awareness still to get rid of it towards goal. Cloak is there. Hearn wanted to take it over. I think it was Hearn underneath. Yes, it is. Now, the umpire can't see whether that's over, and then field umpire tells the goal umpire it is. So Shaw has professionally wasted some time then, but not enough, because West Coast clean to Shuey. The overlap run by Gaff, and now the beautiful presentation to Schofield. Schofield is a very, very good runner. Thomas will not catch him. Couple of bouncers. 3 now. Schofield along the ground misses. He was a great athlete as a junior, a running champion, and he showed it there.
An 800-metre specialist, Will Schofield, I believe, as a junior athlete. You got the look at how well he ran away. John Worsfold, normally cool, calm and collected. It's always a certain goal.
It's always a difficult decision, isn't it, for players, and they're running into open goals. A lot of people are critical of players dribbling it along the ground. Bristol, I think you may be one of them.
Yeah, that was the right decision, wasn't it?
Did you like that?
To go under. Thought he went under the pressure there, but I'm not in favour of them dribbling for goal as a general rule. By the way, that was the West Coast's first score of the quarter of any kind, 17 minutes into it.
you've got to be quick to run and bounce the ball and go away from Daisy Thomas, Schofield.
And he did it. He really did.
It's the sort of pace you're going to need in the grand final sprint, BT.
Richo, you're the athlete amongst us, and you'll be representing the Saturday night team as the athlete amongst us. Sorry about that, Das.
No arguments with me, I promise you that.
Glass. Half-back.
You sure you don't want to run, Das?
I'm pretty happy up here watching BT.
Pritis a low bullet.
Stay out.
Inching it forward here, West Coast. Bravely in front, Reed. He's played a good game, Reed. Brown, nifty little kick to Wellingham. He saw Butler coming off the bench. It's locked in, it's held in. Will anyone be penalised? No. Butler won it out, though. Got it to Gaff. Shaw got him from behind and saved the opportunity for Reed. Reed to Pendlebury, risky kick. Gee, took the risk, Pendlebury, and got Marston under the ball. Marston tries to close him down. He knows he's a left footer. Look at that for coolness and great poise by one of the best decision makers in the game.
Lateral movement he's got, BT. Champion junior basketballer Scotty Pendlebury. You can see what he was able to do there. Go left, right, and eventually just shrugged Marston off. And at the same time, his kicking skills are so good under that sort of pressure.
Shaw doesn't waste a second. Couple of bounces inside. Ran out of room, had to retreat, and great control to Johnson.
They've run out of room, but it's a totally different mindset. Look at Johnson trying to play on. Look at the change of direction. Shaw takes a bounce. They go one side of the ground, back to the other. Pendlebury's work rate, they're starting to just break open this West Coast zone defence.
To Cloak, gee, the Pendlebury work rate, you picked that up to us. Really impressive. Now Cloak from 70. Goes high. Dawes has got the body position here. He can push and mark. He did it, but he just couldn't stick it.
He timed it perfectly. He timed his release, got two hands to it, and if he was in, the top of his swarm, he would have marked that. That job there, Lingy. Blair on Hearn, it's been pretty important.
Yeah, extremely important, Richo. Hearn's a quality player, quality ball user.
Cloak around the corner with a mighty kick. Boy, they've just kept bending and not enough.
How about the amount of purchase Cloak got on that for a one-step snap around the body? Travelled post high. As you said, the amount of curve on it. David Beckham-like. He's a powerful man, isn't he? Travis Cloak.
Ball back into play here. Anything you'd like to see West Coast do right now, Lingy? Are you happy with the setup?
I think they need to keep taking the game on more. At the moment, Collingwood are the ones who are being really proactive, playing on from marks, moving the ball quick. That's it. Knock the ball on, get the ball moving forward, actually test the Collingwood defenders in one-on-one situations.
Marston, in the end, he was outnumbered. Blair.
What Collingwood are doing, the kick-to-handball ratio is unheard of at the moment. It's 53 kicks, 11 handballs. I reckon Bucks has just told them to kick on at every opportunity, get it going forward.
What about that turn from Swan? Got it off to side bottom to Fasolo. Had it spent before he'd marked it.
Yeah, I absolutely concur with Lingy about West Coast. They have now got to reassess where they're at. Are they prepared to take some risks and play with a bit more attacking flair? Because that is 100% the reason why Collingwood have reversed this 11-point deficit at half-time into a 10-point lead.
That's the thing for West Coast is they've been outplayed in this quarter, but they are only 10 points down.
Oh, exactly. They're right in the game still. But, Lingy, you were over in Perth. It was 29 degrees there. Collingwood have had the extra little bit of a break. Do you reckon that's having any impact on them?
Well, it may well have been. I think that one looked like it might have been out in the full, boys. The boundary umpire's just having a chat here to the central umpire. He's going to throw it in because they're not sure, but I think looking at that last replay, it may well have been out in the full. But, yeah, I think in the end of the game, it's certainly going to play an impact. 6-day break, a really warm day in Perth last week. They also had a lot less rotations in Collingwood. It could play an impact.
Johnson with a high ball, hasn't got the journey, falls to the square. Cloak, Cracker was there as well. No score in the end. Embley able to tidy up to Pritis.
Had the 16 disposals, Andrew Embley, but a lot of them have been in the back half of the ground. We saw last week him kick 4 goals from the midfield, and they need to try and get that more attacking run from their elite midfielders. They need Kerr and they need Embley to hit the scoreboard and take some risk and see if they can burn Beams and side bottom and Swan and Dale Thomas back the other way.
Neither sub has been activated yet, nor Rosa nor Elliott. Gaff, Pritis, forced to go through the corridor here. Cox didn't get a purchase on the handball. Beams able to steal it. Johnson went without it. Goldsack put his head over and won it to Didak. Didak goes with a floater. Long ball. Cloak with a good body position here. Schofield will ensure this goes over the line.
This quarter is old school Collingwood pressure. They are really bringing the heat, forcing West Coast to overhandle the ball a little bit in contest, and that's what they love. Then they bring more pressure, create a turnover and get another entry.
For Solo. Snap across the face.
Well, at the moment, Jared Blair is playing a pretty selfless role on Hearn for the Eagles. He really sets them up from half-back with his intercepts and possession gains, and he's got that long leg. And look at that. He's lost confidence.
That's just a total look of bemusement there from John Worsfold. Can't understand what happened. Straight out of bounds on the forward. Great reward, this man that Richo just spoke about, playing a fantastic team role, shutting Shannon Hearn's influence out as a tagging forward. Likes his chances here.
He does. Fancies them, does. Right where the 50-metre line intersects the boundary. Told to play on. That's a good thumping ball. I tell you what, if that's not touched, it's a goal. Blair gets it. Collingwood by 17.
He was in no doubt at all about what he was going to do there, Jared Blair. Gives the bicep a little kiss too, if you don't mind. And it's a great tribute, of course, to the emotional week that has gone on. And you sometimes lose that in the context of tonight, but a lot of these guys have had a massive emotional week. Great friends with the late John McCarthy, and that was a very nice touch, wasn't it? He went back, he had in his mind what he was going to do, kissed the black armband.
There's the work on the line. Dawes got the big body there again legally.
Did it well.
The crowd enjoyed it. They waited to see if it was touched, and up they go. Collingwood by 17. And Blair kissing the arm, a very, very good friend of the late John McCarthy. Hill. So Collingwood now, 4 consecutive goals. Pritis gets it wide to Gaff. Gaff's got an opportunity here. Pressure from his right.
BT.
Down to Lingy. I believe the sub has been activated, Lingy.
Absolutely, BT. Quinton Lynch is the man who's been subbed off. Matty Rosa's subbed on. Of course, Matty Rosa broke his collarbone not that long ago, so a remarkable effort that he's back out there. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Collingwood just test it out a little bit with a few legal bumps, of course.
Tweet here from Nathan Brown. The Eagles cannot get past Ben Reid. He is best on ground. Agree with that at the moment, Gus?
Yeah, it's not far from where we're seeing it up here. Ben Reid has been sensational, really positioned himself well. And with Nick Maxwell out, I reckon he's absolutely played the role that Nathan Brown just says. He's actually got back and zoned off better than anyone in the game tonight.
Is that the Nathan Brown?
Not sure, Richo. There's lots of them.
No, Nathan Brown. So Nathan Brown on the ground as well.
Yes, many of them.
Probably wouldn't be him.
It wouldn't be.
On the ground.
You never know with the modern-day player.
Well, it's not him on the ground tweeting, does. I would have thought.
Swan. Now, with a minute 31 remaining in the third quarter, guys, Collingwood by 16. What are you thinking here right now if you're Collingwood?
Well, you're thinking I'd go and attack still. It's the mindset they took the second half. We've spoken about it right from that first kick into the corridor, get another goal and make it almost impossible for West Coast in the final quarter.
Hearn up. Brennan tried to get through. He did it really well to Butler. So they're pressing here. Now Pritis has got the ball.
You know the Eagles can score fast, so you've got to keep scoring because they can kick 4 or 5 goals very quickly.
Minute and a quarter to go. Jack Darling running into the pickets.
There's great coaching from Nathan Buckley tonight to absolutely sum up this game, to go down at half-time and to express what he wanted done, and the team have followed it out perfectly. They really have taken the game on, and he has been sensational as well, Tyson Goldsack.
Hasn't he ever? Talk about win the hard one time and time again. Now, free kick West Coast here. It'll go to Cox.
Sharon. Time off.
under a minute.
Look at Jolly, his opponent running back to try and help out.
Nat Nui making sure he gets a run at the ball now. The umpire's blowing the whistle here.
Collingwood ball.
It'll go to Collingwood for an off-the-ball incident.
Off-the-ball incident with Kennedy. He just knocked a Collingwood player over well off the ball. The umpires picked him for that one.
All over it, Lingy. Kick wide. Looking for Cloak. Swan was able to feather the ball. 38 seconds and ticking. Poor bounce for the Pies, but West Coast make the most of it. Wellingham looking for the runner cracker. Brennan did well. Still time here for West Coast if they can get it moving. Butler and Cox. Now Pritis joins the party. Got to go direct from here. 20 seconds and ticking. Shuey, there's time, there's space here for the West Coast. Nat Nui on the lead. Brown punched it away. The run here is on. McGinnity pumps it inside 50. Jack Darling's got it. He's got it, and he'll kick it after the siren from 15 metres out directly in front. And this is a huge kick. And Nathan Buckley still doesn't know what's happened.
And you could just see what is happening. You'd see and Lip read what he was thinking as he ran out through the corridor. And this is massive.
Look at Buckley, he can't believe it. He said, what happened? What happened, he said. Huge kick in the context of this game. Jack Darling directly in front. 20 metres out. Goals! West Coast back in business. Loving the work here, the West Coast boys of Jack Darling. Huge fourth quarter to come. Coaches will address their players. Stay with us. West Coast trail the Pies by 10 points.
Not comfortable, but just about there. That goal gets it back to 10 points, and this is really evenly poised here.
One quarter, sudden death, quarter of football here. Winner to play Sydney at ANZ Stadium on Friday night. Jack Darling. A big job will be needed from him in this last quarter for West Coast to get it up. Nat Nui, likewise.
Look how hard Darren Jolly's working there at ground level. He's just making sure that he's side by side, shoulder to shoulder with Nat Nui. Not going to allow him any space to burst through. Just an incredibly powerful unit, Jolly.
Look at that, not allowing him to jump, and I think that'll go against Jolly. And I think that'll be a free kick to Nat Nui. It is.
Bucks can't believe it, but he'll see the replay, and in working hard, his hand accidentally has slipped up, and it's made head-eye contact. And you'll see it here. He's working, and that left hand, there's no malice in it, but Jolly shook his head straight away. He just knew that he grabbed there, a touch of the face, and the free kick has to be paid.
So a goal on the three-quarter time siren from Jack Darling, and now Nat Nui to make it a one-kick game. Comes in, converts the goal. West Coast are within a goal.
So Darren Jolly and Nick Nat Nui make their way back into the centre, and Joffa looks on. Very fair player, Darren Jolly didn't argue. He knew that he'd overcooked it, and it has to be their head-high contact, the ruck infringement, even though it was minimal contact. That decision is there. But now West Coast get a bit of extra strut in their step and a bit of momentum. They start feeling good about their chances.
West Coast, unbelievably in this quarter, 2 goals in 3 kicks.
Yeah, that's right. 2 clearances. Let's see who gets this one here.
And just 1 goal in the previous 94 kicks. How does it work out that way? Embley, Dawes appeared to hurt his knee when he went to ground then, and he is in a little trouble getting back to his feet now, but Collingwood players converging here. Beams out the back, finds the left-footed Pendlebury here. Pendlebury looks for Cracker in the pocket. Now Cracker needs a good bounce, didn't get it. Brennan did well to work him under the ball. Little handball out, and Glass combining with Selwood. The advantage paid to West Coast here. Kerr forced along the boundary line, but that's good enough. Here's Rosa, the activated sub for the West Coast Eagles as well. Now Gaff, back to Rosa. Couple of bounces for Rosa. Demanding the ball was Cox, and he didn't get it. And he went short. It could bounce through. Don't think anyone's touched it. Tuvey, Hill, and Shaw sockers off the ground. Side bottom had to be clean there.
That was a superb pickup from still side bottom. Any fumble, and they were in all sorts of trouble.
Swan looking for the sneaky one, couldn't pull it off. Kerr ran to the brick wall, got the handball away. West Coast a real chance here. McGinnity pops it wide, looking for and finding Darling. Quickly down to Doc Larkins.
Yeah, medial ligament right knee for Dawes. Can't put any weight through downstairs. They're going to try and strap him up, see if they can get him back, Dawes.
Started the quarter full of running.
Oh, there it is too, Doc, and you'll get a look at that and you'll see that might be heading towards a severe medial. And they're going to go down and strap him up. The sub's been activated. We know that Didak.
Mark Klein, the photographer, well-known Melbourne photographer there, having to move his suitcase. Tell you what, Das, that does look medial, doesn't it? It's Doc nailed in a matter of seconds. Darling lessens the angle. Didn't make it work. Big jump at the ball, Mark Kennedy.
Hasn't been sighted at all, Josh Kennedy, in this game. Richo, Ben Reed's done a great job. We spoke about him before, but a dangerous player always, this man.
Just looks so dangerous down there. They haven't been tonight, obviously, in the air, but as the game wears on, defenders get tired. If he keeps jumping at the football, opportunities often come late for marking players.
Kennedy with that familiar run-up to put West Coast in front. He's snuck it in, and West Coast lead by 2 points.
Josh Kennedy steps up to the plate, came back into the side in round 20, I think, played 3 home and away games, and got back, kicked 4 in the final last week. Capable of being a super forward, this guy. Just trying to still find his way back after missing most of the year with a really bad ankle operation.
There's the mark for Kennedy. The Pies led by 17 points, the 24-minute mark of the third quarter, and they now trail by 2, the 5-minute mark of the last. Cox. Scott Selwood, I think, will have a ball up here.
Both heads down, picking it up.
Just got a feeling this game has got something magical in it, Richo, like a kick after the siren or a heap of lead changes in this final quarter. Every contest, every free kick you feel is going to be massive.
Gaff able to steal the ball out of the hands of O'Brien. Tarrant now under enormous Josh Hill pressure, and got it to the boundary line in a well-disguised manner.
Just getting on top early in the clearances this quarter, West Coast Eagles.
Jolly holding again, almost could have been paid a free there. Put us down low. What are you thinking right now, Cameron Ling, at the ground level there?
Well, it's going to be the team that takes its chances now. We know it's going to be close. If you get a chance in front of goal, you've got to be able to nail it. And just one thing I've noticed, the freshman Rosa has gone on to the man who broke the game open that third quarter, Dale Thomas. It'll be a really important matchup if they can limit Thomas's influence in this last quarter.
Cloak bullocks his way through and did it in a powerful way. There's Elliott. The activated sub for the Pies in the absence of Didak. Embley goes down the line and kicks that out of bounds on the full. Elliott out there is the only player that hasn't played the final on the G, or a final at all, in fact, out of both sides. Hearn, not a lot of depth in that to Wellingham.
He played really well earlier this year in round 13, young Elliott against the Eagles, took 4 or 5 contested marks.
Sure! Big fly from behind, unfairly, says the umpire. Now West Coast out of defence. That kick is horrible from Beams. Beams sees Goldsack. Goldsack will mark directly in front of goal.
Oh, Andrew Embley, and look at John Worsfold with his hands in his head. He just can't believe that is just a meltdown. Shaw went up without acceptances, and it was Embley who ran through, and he's just had a brain fade. It's like he stubbed his foot, bursting out of defence. Beams picks it up, kicks back inside 50, and a massive turnover should result in a goal here to Goldsack.
Well, he's directly in front. A good 35 metres out. Tyson Goldsack missed a couple early. In he comes. That looks very, very good. Collingwood back in front.
He's been pretty good tonight, coming back into the team, Tyson Goldsack. I've loved his tackling and forward pressure. He's had 8 tackles. Missed those couple of goals early, but he's worked really hard, done some nice things, and that was a little gift, that one there. Just a horrific turnover at half-back. He was basically just standing on his own inside forward 50. Beams just had to plonk it over the top.
And this is West Coast trying to take the game on through the corridor with Embley, and hard to explain what happened there. Might have stubbed his toe on the ground. Massive turnover, punished with a goal. Collingwood get the lead back.
4-point lead it is, Das. Out of the middle, this clearance important. Collingwood on top of it. Beams on the head of Elliott. Front and centre was waiting, and lurking was Cracker. Blair, beautiful hip and shoulder there. I think it might have been Gaff. Pritis now. Down the field, Harry O'Brien underneath the ball. The recovery is first by McGinnity. He got bowled over. And now Tuvey. Possumised Tuvey. To Wellingham. Wellingham to Elliott. Elliott to Cracker. Cracker got an outside runner in Shaw. Cracker with a low ball goes inside. Looking for Cloak. Didn't get down low enough. Now Glass on the counter-attack. To Rosa. And Marston. Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Chris Dawes back up with the right knee, heavily strapped, trying to support the medial side, the inner side, the closest to the other knee. He's running pretty freely. They need him back out there.
There he is, the big man. Jolly and Cox wrapped up. Blair, Thomas, the man of the moment in the third quarter.
Darren Jolly just continues to show why he's Collingwood's most important player. Not necessarily their best player, but their most important player. He has done a terrific job tonight. He's been so good against Cox and Natanui, and the Collingwood midfielders have been magnificent on the back of it.
He's running into him. Head down, running in, barging through.
So Dawes ready to come back on. There's Billy Carp there, interchange steward. Jeff Walsh, general manager of footy, just to the left-hand side there. Scott Selwood on the bottom of this. Swan had the ball pinned by Rosa. Made the legitimate attempt there, so the umpire said that's okay. Trying, said the umpire.
Dawes and Beams about to make their way back on to the MCG. Good news there, Chris Dawes able to get back out with medial ligament strain.
So this game, right at the moment, is an absolute dead heat. Collingwood by just 4 points.
You can see Rosa as the loose player around this stoppage. He has to have an impact because Tarrant's just down the line.
Wellingham, remarkable effort to get the kick away. Mark dropped by Elliott. But boy, is he strong in the contest. Here comes Cracker, off hands, Blair missed it. Swan gets a look from 35 out, kicked it deep to the square, Cloak's there, he couldn't mark it. Cracker, the MCG specialist, did he get carried forward? The umpire said no, play on.
He's the front and centre specialist as well, Andy Cracker. He always finds himself in the right spot. Did he get a push in the back, or did he accentuate the contact?
Dangerous spot here for the Eagles. Too far out to thump it through. Did well by Cox and Pritis. Brown underneath. A high ball. Runner getting in the way. Quick handball. Gee, Shaw was lightning. Got it off to Johnson on his left foot. Pokes it through. Little ball at Fasolo in the hands. Couldn't mark it. Off hands. In goes side bottom. Embley's there as well.
Gee, Glass did well in that contest. He spoiled the ball beautifully, and then he avoided making contact into Fasolo's back. Great defending. He's been doing it for years, Darren Glass, but could have almost been a free kick, avoided it beautifully.
What a game of finals football we're seeing here. Beams from 50, a long ball. Clark couldn't get it. McKenzie didn't concede. Cracker picks it up, put it over the head. Swan drops the mark, recovers the ball, turns around and kicks the goal. Collingwood have kicked it and they lead by 10.
Really clever stuff there from Andy Cragg. Brilliant one-taking kick in the same motion. And it kept the ball in a dangerous situation where Swan probably dropped the mark he should have taken, but good enough, powerful enough and skillful enough to then go on and finish. And a nice response here from the Magpies after the Eagles hit the lead. The Pies have hit straight back.
Cracker with a centering ball.
Just that ability of Andy Cracker to kick in such a quick space of time. It's a one-kick grab, same motion, centering ball. Dane Swan now has got a couple. Dale Thomas has got 3. So, and Pendlebury won 6 goals for their midfielders is a big stat in this game.
11 and a half minutes remain in this one for one of these clubs. Swan out of the middle. Kick wasn't great. Cracker got a really important hand on it. Now Cloak tries to clear the path for Fasolo. Kerr did well on the interception. Got it on the boot. Really cleverly done by Daniel Kerr. Embley. Shaw concedes the professional 3.
That's Daniel Kerr's effort there. Wrapped up in a tackle, contested footy, gets a boot to ball, it releases his teammate. He's had 18 contested possessions tonight, Daniel Kerr.
In a little bit of trouble behind the play too. I think it's Wellingham. Here's Tuvey. Runs away with the ball, slid the handball to Shaw. Shaw went deliberately along the ground because the pressure was up top. It was smart. Wellingham will have to come off. Feeling a little sore and sorry for himself and got a whack in the nostril. Neutral territory. Swatting ruck tap there from Natanui. Priddis. 3 Collingwood players hover around Priddis on the ground.
Boys, Collingwood have had 44 more interchanges than West Coast Eagles. So you imagine late in this game, in the last few minutes, that's eventually got to take its toll, and Collingwood should have more run.
Accidental elbow to the head there of Wellingham. So we got the damage. Players confused about which way this will go.
Yeah, the umpire in great position here to see it was a hold on Blair. Daniel Kerr had hold of Blair's arm. Free kick was there.
Blair goes low and hard to the boundary line, and Selwood, that was Adam, bravely got in the way of it.
Would they normally have that many more interchanges, Lingy, than the opposition?
Well, Collingwood are the second most rotating, interchanging team in the competition, and West Coast traditionally pretty low as well. So I'm not surprised by that stat, but it does play a big impact, or it does play a big part late in the game, especially when you consider Collingwood have had the extra break compared to West Coast 6 days.
Okay, West Coast here under noise pressure. Doc, Wellingham be okay, you think?
Yeah, it's the second time he's had a crack on the nose tonight. He'll be right, BT. Yep.
Thomas picks the ball up on the left, went the left foot banana, missed.
Tell you what, he liked it, Days. He had a little celebration going. A run away left foot banana heading into the left forward pocket, almost the highest degree of difficulty you could go for. And he got a good piece of it, but just not enough to steer it home.
65,483 here tonight to witness this sudden death semi-final. Winner to play Sydney. 9 3/4 minutes left in the game. Anyone's ball game. Blair sharks it, avoids the tackle, went the short ball. Here comes Cloak, gives the handball to Cracker. Cracker, the specialist, kicks around the corner, misses. Now, that point pretty important, makes it an even 2-goal game. Yeah. 12 points now.
I reckon Hearn's just got to start maybe going straight down the middle here, using that long leg. They just can't clear it out of the danger zone at the moment.
Having enormous trouble getting it in their half, Richo. This will help. Kerr, not much on down the field. Cox and Kennedy. G. Reid got a shocker. Kennedy able to get onto it. A bounce now. The kick out in front of Hill. Did Brown infringe? The umpire said no.
Good decision, correct decision. He used his body really well. And the bounce from Reid was a shocker, but here's Brown. Gave a decent spoil and no hold.
Prentice out the back door. Shuey. Hot handball for Nat Nui. McGinnity got a little foot on the ball. Mark dropped. Gee, it was almost taken on that occasion by Butler, I think it was. Collingwood come back dangerously into the traffic.
Got a massive forward press on here. West Coast, they're under all sorts to get this one out. A defensive 50. Well done by Brown.
Brown goes long and deep. Here's Wellingham, flies for the mark, couldn't get it. Kerr was really, really good.
How good was that?
Cat-like instincts. G. Thomas went low and hard. So did Shuey. They collide in the end. West Coast are going to come around the ball. The umpire says not the required journey. Play on. Ball bounces out. Cloak in front now to take the mark. Couldn't get it. West Coast will recover it through Butler.
It's got Cox in the middle. They've got to get it in there.
Elliott and Cloak not able to recover. 3 men everywhere. West Coast now. Ball wide. Here's Brennan. Plenty of space. Plenty of time. Prentice demanding it back in the middle. Didn't get it. They go in a more direct manner. Shaw bit the bullet and went after it, and he did really well. Prentice, Dawes has got to go. Now can he get rid of it? Locked in. Will he be penalised? No.
Chris, you dragged it in. You dragged it in, mate.
Umpire telling the West Coast player that he dragged it in. 7 3/4 minutes remaining in this one. You get the feeling Collingwood just hanging in there at the moment, but West Coast are a goal away from busting this one open.
Saw a stat there on screen before that we're really pleased. Nathan Buckley, the Collingwood coaching staff, tackles inside 50. It was 13-4. And Lingy's pointed out a number of times tonight, that is the model that had Collingwood in 2010 and 11 as, if not the best team in the competition, certainly the most dangerous.
65,000 here for the 220th time for the Collingwood team. Not bad. Goldsack inside 50. No one home here. McKenzie runs away. Look, Dawes can't turn. Definitely got the medial ligament there. He could not turn in that direction. Ball over the line. Gaff did well. He had trouble turning to the right there.
Yep. And Doc Larkins has told us immediately about a medial strain. We saw a replay. But how good has McKenzie been? We'll start paying some credit to him. Travis Cloak, just 8 possessions. And McKenzie has really played a massive role in tonight's game.
If Collingwood were to get up, I don't know that Dawes would play next week. Looking at that little bit of vision.
That'll be really sore. No doubt about that. And be tough to come up. You can play with medials, but that might be too severe.
Swan to the dangerous Pendlebury. Cloak caught behind, works his way to the front. Glass. Now Hearn, and this kick important to Marston.
Haven't scored for 16 minutes now, the Eagles. They are trying to run, they're trying to create, but
knocked away from Pendlebury, nicely done by Schofield. Now Schofield can go forward. Elliott went to smother. Reid in front of Nat Nui. Over the back, danger here for the Pies. West Coast arrive. It's 3-on-3 now. Nat Nui tries to rip it loose. Got it to Kennedy.
Yeah, once again, Ben Reid playing that role superbly. He's really been on top of Josh Kennedy, but also, as we said a number of times, filled the space at half-back superbly.
Once it gets to 5 minutes, I reckon it becomes a real clock factor, doesn't it? At the moment, plenty of time for West Coast. 5 minutes, they start to think about the clock and panic can set in. Johnson. Nat Nui around the corner. Here's Reid. Doesn't go the mark.
But they're giving it everything. The Eagles, they're trying to run. Their forward pressure's been outstanding, but the opposition is just holding up. They've had a huge win around the clearances tonight, plus 11, Collingwood.
They are looking like they're going to score, though, the Eagles, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're pressing.
Tarrant out the back to side bottom with a hurried kick. Bad bounce for the Eagles player. Somehow that got through. That is unbelievable. Goldsack now. Does he take him on? Yes, he does. Took another bounce.
attack. His attack on the footy there, and his ability to take the game on. The kick just didn't quite have enough legs, but it was a brilliant effort.
Shuey. Back inside, they queue up Rosa. Rosa goes long and deep. Kennedy comes 4 deep. Reid was with him. Pendlebury front and centre. Now Beams. 30th touch for Beams. Wellingham holds the ball in the air as if to signify now's the time to go slow at 4:45. Not so sure about that myself. Like to see another minute off the clock, I guess, if you're a Collingwood player. Here is Schofield back inside. West Coast have got to go now. Embley pounds the ball down in the Natanui direction. Here's a big chance for West Coast. They've got the numbers around the ball. Hearn's a big kick of the ball. Missed it to Shuey.
And they're Darling one-on-one with Reid deep in the goal square, all on his own.
Swan wants someone deep. Thomas goes deep. Cracker there as well. Here's Thomas. Traps the ball. He'll win a goal-saving tackle. Cracker, the specialist, turns his man inside out. Ran out of tarmac. No goal, out of bounds.
The boundary umpire on the spot there. Cracker found some turning space in such a confined area of the ground. It was exciting stuff.
West Coast have to go now. Swan with a handball here. It's a 12-point margin of behind here for Collingwood. Just about kills the game.
Dane Beams' night again tonight. 30 disposals for the 17th time this year, leading possession gather on the ground. And he was the one they targeted. Scott Selwood went to him, and he's just outrun him.
Side bottom ball held there. He's got to make a legitimate attempt.
He's been able to... When you can have 10 clearances and you're the player being tagged on the ground, you can see Selwood there on Pendlebury at this stoppage, but he's had Beams most of the night. That's a great effort.
Glass doing the ruck work to the run of Hearn. Hearn goes for length, but took his eye off the ball there. Darling around, Reid to market.
I think you boys got a tweet earlier saying that this man's been the best on ground. I agree completely. He has been fantastic. Just held them up every time and a real steadying influence. He is a top class player.
And another great mate of John McCarthy is Ben Reid. Here's Elliott. So the Collingwood players here at the moment hanging on by 12.
Well, it was all the talk, the Eagles' tall forward line, but Collingwood defence has been outstanding tonight.
Here comes Fasolo from the Johnson kick. Beautiful kick by Johnson.
Great 100-metre present up there from Alex Fasolo, and they are really into just trying to hold on to the footy at the moment. Collingwood clock ticks down to 2:41.
Cloak takes the mark. 2.5 minutes. 2 goals in it. Stranger things have happened. Cloak a high ball in the head of Jolly, and Natanui couldn't get to him. And did Darren Jolly just go for the brawn then? Did he just give that a little tweak in that marking contest? Doc, you're a lot closer than I am.
I think he did, Brian. He's talking to he's sure there, but he's obviously going to kick. Just watch this kick now.
See how he kicks that. Looked okay. Ball smacks in. Pendlebury there. Offhand, Shuey. They lock it in the Pies. 1:55 and ticking. Cracker somehow to Beams. That's a throw. Should have been a free. Butler. Fasolo. Schofield. Rosa the run. McGinnity the support. But Collingwood get back. Shaw looking to the fat side, goes short to Johnson. And now they are going to go into time off the clock mode here right now.
And you're getting a great look at their midfield gut runners. 100-metre leads. With a minute remaining, still able to push so hard, and their fitness program under David Butterfin has been extraordinary. Collingwood for the best part of a decade, and you're getting a good look at here. how well they're able to run out of game.
Collingwood through Tuvey. Wellingham marks. Any score here will finish the game without any doubt, if it's not already with just 40 seconds on the clock.
You just saw a tiny little smile from Bucks. He looked up.
He wanted to.
He saw the clock. He knows that it's beyond any doubt now. Well done to him. A lot of pressure for him coming into tonight. He's coached really well.
Sherrod Wellingham. Time ticks down. Wellingham misses to the right-hand side. And Collingwood are going to go into yet another prelim final. I think that'll be 7 of the last 9, perhaps, that they will have played in. Collingwood will win this game. Countdown on now. West Coast were gallant, had their opportunities. Collingwood have won. They'll play Sydney next Friday night. Into yet another prelim final, down to the last